everybody, back to Ignite. I have a tool, a visual in my hand. I've never done this before. You know what this is? It's a bellows, okay? Bellows. You know what a bellows does? A friend of mine, Dave Donaldson, who is the co-founder of CityServe, I think the greatest compassion program in the world. I really do. They over $1 billion worth of goods they delivered last year to hurting people from North Carolina to the Ukraine. And with no expense, because it's done voluntarily, it's done through churches, and what I like best, it's always done with the Word of God. So they're not only feeding people and clothing people and getting people healthy and having furniture for their homes, but they're getting people saved. And that's pretty exciting. Just getting people clothed and fed on their way to hell doesn't excite me too much. They have the whole package called CityServe. Check them out. They're worth funding. I do hugely. They actually started this ministry. They came up with the concept, but he and his partner on the patio of my home and on Balboa Island. So I've been invested from the beginning. Anyway, having said all that, Dave came for a CityServe meeting here a few days ago and stayed at my house. And he brought me this. He says, Barry, you know what that is? And I looked at it. I said, I think that's a bellows. Okay, yeah. I said, why would you bring me a bellows? I mean, it looks real nice, pretty fancy. He says, because that's what you are. I said, what do you mean? I'm a bellows? Am I a bag of wind or whatever? He said, no, Barry, what does a bellows do? I said, well, I guess it starts a fire. He said, well, it doesn't start the fire. It builds the fire. Think about it. When the fire is raging and it's not attended to, it goes down until it finally becomes just embers. It's barely alive. And you come back with a bellows and you put air on it and you build the embers into a raging fire again. That's what you do. I like that concept. That's exactly what we do. And the sad part of it is that most Christians are down to embers now. The church is dead. The world's alive looking for God, and the church is just sitting there dead and down to embers and complaining, and you listen to their conversations, and you know what I'm talking about. You're surrounded by Christians like this because that's where the church is today. And without a testimony, really. And I'm talking about people that are going to church and giving their money and giving sacrificially, love the Lord on their way to heaven, but no joy. They missed out on the point of it. We're called to love God and love our neighbors as ourselves. That's the whole point of being alive. Nothing else is required of us. And when we come alongside that Christian, when you come alongside those Christians, and you know a lot of them, and you're the bellows now, okay, not just me, and you start pumping air into them and getting them back to being excited about God, where He becomes a source of their joy and their happiness, and they become ignited. They start igniting the rest of America. We can win this battle. This is a pretty cool thing. Okay, understand this is not just for me. You're a bellows. Take advantage of it, and let's win this battle. Let's ignite America with the Bible one more time. God bless you. See you next time.